Okay, IDs, we're going to wrap up with a true or false question here. And it really depends. So there's a lot of instructors out there that really think that the true or false is kind of a throwaway question, and it really doesn't have that much value. And truthfully, they may be right in most cases. I'm not really a big fan of true or false questions either, but there are some situations where they really kind of work in well, and this is a situation right here. Where I think it kind of does. You'll notice here that we're in that same lesson that you've seen before quite a few times, this project termination lesson. Okay, and we're at the very end. We're essentially terminating the lesson on project termination. And it's at the very end. And one of the things that the instructor wanted to get students to understand at the very beginning, and if they learned anything in this particular module on project termination, it is this: that projects can be terminated for good reasons as well as bad. Right? When we think about project termination, we think must be a failure. Right? It must have really not done well. It must have lost money. The project must not have gone in the direction that they originally thought it was going to, and so it was a failure. Well, guess what? It's not that. It's not the case like that all the time. Sometimes projects are terminated because they're successful. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm working right now at my job at Northeastern is because we started out in our situation, our work situation, as a project, and it was doing so well that they decided to adopt it into the functional organization at Northeastern. So we ended up staying on in that regard because of the success of the project. All right, so it was terminated, but it was actually not a project anymore. It became actually an arm of the organization. All right, so anyway, I'm giving you probably too much info, but anyway, one thing that the instructor wanted to hammer home was this idea that it may be even a success with it being terminated. So I'm kind of giving away the answer here, but so the firm will terminate a project even though it's proven to be a success. Gosh, they wouldn't do that, would they? No. A successful project can be terminated. There's several positive reasons why, and we give a few reasons why it's successful. I can tell you that the correct feedback is is the same feedback here, except it says correct. You're absolutely right. A successful project can be terminated. Blah 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 blah. Right. So again, the point here is it hammers home that point that the instructor wanted the students to make sure that they understood, and it's coming at the very end. It's the knockout punch essentially as they're exiting this particular module, and we want to make sure formatively, right, that they understand this idea, this very important concept that came at the beginning. So be thinking about that when you're thinking about your concept checks. They can break the rules a little bit. They do have their place at times. And all you got to be doing is you got to be thinking thoughtfully as an ID, and knowing what your objective is, and knowing what the instructor is trying to communicate, and you'll do a great job. All right. So I hope you enjoyed all of these concept checks, and I'm looking forward to seeing yours, by the way.